So good afternoon and welcome to the English Book Club with me, Lynn, your teacher, whatever, from the Learn English Network. And we're starting a new book today. New year, new book. So happy new year, happy new book. And it's Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. Should be a little easier than our previous few books. Last couple of books have been very advanced. I'm hoping, if my memory serves me correctly, because it's a long time since I read this book, it should be a lot easier. So you will find a link to the download in the thread, and you'll find it pinned, so if you lose your copy you can download it at any time. You can also read it online in Gutenberg if you go to the Gutenberg website, or download it in a different version, text, PDF. It's a free to read book. So there's no need to buy a copy unless you must own it. Okay. So, thank you, Paulette. It's working. Good, good, good. Excellent. Eleanor's back. Good. And I will just add Gibran onto the end of our reading list. So I will call you to read, and I will time you for about 5 minutes. You can stop before the 5 minutes is up. As soon as, if you feel uncomfortable or you just need a break, then you can stop any time within those 5 minutes. You don't have to do the whole 5 minutes. However, you do have to stop when I tell you to. Otherwise, other people won't get a chance. You read to me, I correct your pronunciation, intonation, and we can discuss any really tough words. But generally one word, if you're not sure of the meaning, just look it up online, Google it. So just meaning or definition and the word, and you'll get lots and lots of help online. If you still don't understand, then by all means ask in the thread and we'll try and help you. Okay, because words are sometimes they have different contexts. Okay, so as per usual, our first reader is Paulette, and it's a really easy one. It's page 1. We're not going to read the preface, the preface, okay? We're not going to read that. I don't see the point. Let me just see. Okay, hang on a second. I don't think... Oh, let's see. Oh, maybe we should. Maybe we should. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the preface, or do you want to start at chapter 1? It's all a bit blah blah. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Is that okay, Paulette?
The chapter 1.
Do you want to start at chapter 1?
Excuse me.
I don't know.
Excuse me. Robin.
Hello, yes?
I think this dedicacy is interesting, but...
It is a little bit interesting, but it's also a bit boring.
Okay. I understand.
I don't know if Paulette wants to read the boring bit. So, Gibran, what was your question?
I have a question about what we read today.
We're reading the book Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. Yeah, you can, if you... can somebody share the link to the book to Gibran? You need to download it. Okay?
Where can I download it?
Yeah, there's a link pinned to the thread Kidnapped. It's pinned, yeah? You can download it from Gutenberg or Grey Books. I've pinned a link. Let me just put that Gibran here. Okay. It's pinned here.
Wait. I don't have a book. Wait, okay, now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So within the book club, it is your responsibility to have the book and to know what page we're starting at the next week.
Yeah.
And it will always be pinned There. Okay, so up to you, Paulette. You can start on page 8, or you can start on page 3. 2, 3, 2.
Two.
Okay, you're going to. Okay, whenever you like, whenever you're feeling comfortable, everybody else mute your mics, please. And whenever you're comfortable, Paulette, if you would like to start.
Yes, thank you. Chapter 1. Set off upon Mr. Journey to the House of Shows. I will begin the story of my adventures with a certain morning early in the month of June, the year of grace 1751, when I took the key for the last time out of the door of my father's house. The sun began to shine upon the summit of the hills as I went down the road, and by the time I had come as far as the manse, the blackbirds were whistling in the garden lilacs, and the mist that hung around the valley in the time of the dawn was beginning to arise and die away. Mr. Campbell, the minister of Essendine, was waiting for me by the garden gate. Good man. He asked me if I had breakfasted, and hearing that I lacked for nothing, he took my hand in both of his and clapped it kindly under his arm. Well, Davy, lad, said he, I will go with you as far as the fort to set you on the way. And we began to walk forward in silence. Are you sorry to leave, Essendine? Said he, after a while. Why, sir? Said I. If I knew where I was going, or what was likely to become of me, I would tell you candidly. Essendine is a good place, indeed, and I have been very happy there, but then I have never been anywhere else. My father and mother, since they are both dead, I shall be no nearer to, in Essendine than in the kingdom of Hungary. And, to speak truth, if I thought I had a chance to better myself where I was going, I would go with a good will. Eh, said Mr. Campbell. Very well, Davy. Then it behoves me to tell your fortune, or so far as I may. When your mother was gone, and your father, the worthy Christian man, began to sicken for his end, he gave me in charge a certain letter, which he said was your inheritance. So soon, says he, as I am gone, and the house is redd up and the gear disposed of, all which Davy has been done. Give my boy this letter into his hand and start him off to the house of shows, not far from Cramond. That is the place I came from, he said, and it's where it befits that my boy should return. He is steady lad, your father said, and a canny goer, and I doubt not he will come safe, and be well lived where he goes. The house of shows, I cried. What had my poor father to do with the house of shows? Nay, said Mr. Campbell, who can tell that for surety? But the name of that family, Davy, boy, is the name you bear, Balfours of Shows, an ancient, honest, reputable house. Your adventure in these latter days decayed. Your father, too, was a man of learning, as befitted his position, no more plausibly conducted school, nor had he the manner or the speech of a common dominie. But, as you will yourself remember, I took a a pleasure to have him to the manse to meet the gentry, and those of my own house, Campbell of Clurnet, Campbell of Dunshware, Campbell of Minch, and others, all well-kenned gentlemen, had pleasure in his society. Lastly, to put all the elements of this affair before you, here is the testamentary letter itself, superscribed by the own hand of our departed brother.
Very good, well done.
Thank you.
Okay, the first reading of 2023, apart from my little bit. Excellent. So, nicely read. Good start. You've all got something to follow now. Any questions before I give Paulette her feedback? Oh, hang on. Just messed that up. My new layer. Click the screen. Oof. Okay. No questions? Then, Paulette, here's your feedback. And you'll find the words in the kidnapped thread, okay? Just so you know. So, Paulette, the first word is lilacs, not lilacs, lilacs. It's the flower of the tree.
Lilacs. Oh.
Hello, chap. Okay, then we're going to get a few of these Scottish sounding words in this book. I. Try it. I. That's it. Yeah, that's good. And then behoves, not begoves, behoves. Remember H is
Behoves.
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 That's better, yeah. Then ancient.
I said ancient? Yes.
Yes.
Ancient, yes.
Ancient,
yeah.
good. And then reputable. Reputable. Don't forget to use the kidnapped thread, Constantine. Okay.
Reputable.
Not repute, reputable.
Reputable.
So
Reputable.
Listen to the stress. Listen to the stress. Reputable.
Reputable. Reputable.
Okay, this is getting there. It's getting there.
Reputable.
Okay, Gibran, it depends what you want to ask about vocabulary. If it's simply the meaning of a word, I'd prefer if you looked it up online. But if having done that you still don't understand, then you can ask here. Okay, you can either type your answer, type your question, or you can ask by asking for the mic. And you ask for the mic in our sessions, as you know, by typing MIC. Okay. So, did you... Okay. Because simple words you can look up, an individual word you can look up, but if having looked it up you don't understand it in context in the book, then by all means ask me. I might be able to help. You never know. Okay, so Alexandra, your turn. Can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Hi,
Hi. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Excellent. As soon as you feel comfortable, if you would like to begin.
Yes, thank you. He gave me the letter, which was addressed in these words: to the hands of Ebenezer Balfour, Esquire of Shores, in his house of Shores. This will be delivered by my son, David Balfour. My heart was beating hard at this great prospect now suddenly opening before a lad of 17 years of age, the son of a poor country domain in the forest of Ettrick. Mr. Campbell, I stamped, and if you were in my shoes, would you go? Of a surety, said the minister. That would I, and without pause. A pretty lad like you should get to Cremont. It is near. Inn by Edinburgh in 2 days of walk. If the worst came to the worst, and you high relations, as I cannot suppose them to be somewhat of your blood, should put you to the door, ye can but walk the 2 days back again, and risks at the man's door. But I would rather hope that ye shall be well received, as your poor father forecast for you, and for anything that I can come to be a great man in time. And here David, lady, he resumed, it lies me upon my conscience to improve this parting and set you on the right guard against the danger of the world. Here he cast about for a comfortable seat, lighted on a big boulder and bit by the trackside, sat down upon it with a very long, serious upper lip, and the sun now shining in upon us between two peaks, put his pocket handkerchief over his cocked head to shelter him. There, then, with uplifted forefinger, he first put me on my guard against considerable number of sides to which I had no temptation, and urged upon me to be instant in my prayers and reading of the Bible. That done, he drew a picture of the great house that I was bound to, and how I should conduct myself with its inhabitants. We supply Davy in things immaterial, said he. Bear yes in mind that so gentle born, ye have had a country rearing. Dina shame us, Davy. Oh, I don't know what is Dina. Dina shame us on your great Markle house with all these domestics upper and under. Show yourself a nice, as circumspect, as quick as the conception, and as slowly of speech as any. As for the lad, remember he's a lad. I sell no more honor to whom honor. It's a pleasure to obey a lad, or should be to the young. Thank you. Okay. My English is not very.
Well, let's come to your English, because that's actually Scottish. But it is Scottish that most English people will recognise, okay? So, well done, Alex. Very nicely done indeed. Well, yes, well said at Gibran. Okay, so any questions before I give Alexandra her feedback? In fact, I have got some feedback to give back to Paulette. Paulette, you had a smiley and I forgot it. Yeah, I've got to get into the flow of doing these sessions again. And that yours was plausibly. Well done. Do you want to try it, Paulette? Plausibly. That's it. If something's plausible, it's believable. Okay. And I just wanted to say breakfast can be a verb. So to have breakfasted. We can to breakfast. We don't normally say, to eat breakfast, but you can also have you breakfasted yet. A little bit, a little bit posh. Okay, so Alexa, let me give you yours. Your first word is word.
Word.
Words,
Word.
not wards. Words.
Words.
Plural.
Words.
That's it. Good, good, good. And then sun. Not like son. Sun.
Sun.
Like the sunshine. Yeah, the sun shines out of your son's eyes. If you're a mother. Okay, so then Domini.
Domini.
Yeah. And then shoes. Long O.
Shoes.
Long oo.
Shoes.
Shoes. Yes. How many pairs of shoes have you got? Then you got it, the first one. It comes up several times, so everybody listen carefully. Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
That's it. Edinburgh. There's no G. It's Edinburgh. Okay.
It is
Then,
because it's Burg and Edinburgh.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, no. Only in Germany would it be Edinburgh. Berg is castle in German, but Edinburgh is a place in Scotland, and we say Edinburgh. Okay, so ye or you, but not yeah. Yeah sounds too much like yes. Ye. Old
Yea.
English for
Yea.
you. Ye. Ye. Ye.
Yay.
That's it. And then a cocked hat. Silent E. Cocked hat.
Cocked hat.
That's it. It's a hat that's sort of at a little jaunty angle, if you like. Then heresies, not here size, heresies.
Heresies.
Yes. Okay. And urged.
Urged.
That's it. Rearing.
Rearing.
Perfect. Well done. Oh, we'll come to that in a minute. And then you get a smiley for parting. Well done.
Parting.
Parting is such sweet sorrow. Then ken is Scottish for to know. Do you ken John Peel with his coat so grey? Do you ken John Peel? So to ken something is to know something. Dinner is don't. Don't. Not don't know. Dinner ken would be don't know. But dinner is don't. Dinner do that. It's Scottish.
Dinner does it. Dinner does it.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
It's not slang.
Don't do
it's
it.
Scottish.
Dinner
That's
does
it.
it.
Dinner do that.
Dinner does it.
You didn't want to do that. Scottish is a dialect in this context. Gaelic is the language. Okay. Okay, so, and then laird is lord.
That is Lord.
Yeah, laird. Yeah. The laird of the clan is the lord of the clan. There are clans in Scotland. Very powerful position.
Right.
Don't argue.
In this book, the boy is.
It comes up a lot.
It's now that he's now a lord, and he's not just.
Wait, shush, no spoilers.
Oh, we just read it.
Yeah, but oh, did we? Okay, I didn't get that. Okay, so yeah, he's a laird himself, indeed. Remember, he's the laird. No, he's the laird, not him. It's a pleasure to obey a laird, or should be to the young. Okay, the laird's word is like, yeah, it's like written in law, if you like. Okay.
Thank you.
Don't worry, Gibran. Everybody's going to be learning a little bit of Scottish here. It might behove you well if you ever visit Scotland and you need to go somewhere and you've got somebody talking to you in Scottish. But Scottish has a lot of dialects, and Gaelic, don't expect to understand it. But the Scottish dialect, the Scottish accent, you can train yourself by listening to Rabsy Nesbitt or somebody. Good luck. I'm going to enjoy this book. Okay, luckily I lived in Edinburgh for 5 years, so I should be able to help you with most of them, and those that I can't, I'll be honest and tell you I've got no idea. Okay, next person to read is Hermina. Hermina, how's your Scottish?
Oh, gosh. Can you... I hope you can hear me, all of you.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, as soon as you are ready, if you would like to start.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the chance. Well, sir, said I, it may be, and I'll promise you I'll try to make it so. Why, very well, replied Mr. Campbell heartily. And now to come to the material, or to make a quibble to the immaterial. I have here a little packet which contains 4 things. He tucked it as he spoke, and with some great difficulty from the skirt pocket of his coat. Of these 4 things, the first is your legal due, the little pickle money for your father's books and blenishing, which I have bought, as I have explained from the first, in the design of a reselling at a profit to the incoming dominie. The other 3 are gifties that Mrs. Campbell and myself would be bliff of your acceptance. The first, which is round, will likely please ye best at the first of go. But, oh Davy, laddie, it's but a drop of water in the sea. It'll help you put a step and vanish like the morning. The second, which is flat and square and written upon, will stand by you through life, like a good stuff for the road, and a good pillow to your head in sickness. And as for the last, which is cubical, that I'll see you, it's my prayerful wish, into a better land. With that he got upon his feet, took off his hat, and prayed a little while aloud, and in affection terms for a young man setting out into the world. Then suddenly took me in his arms and embraced me very hard, then held me at arm's length, looking at me with his face all working with sorrow, and then whipped about and crying goodbye to me, set off backward by the way that we had come at a sort of jogging run. It might have been laughable to another, but I was in no mind to laugh. I watched him as long as he was in sight, and he never stopped hurrying, nor once looked back. Then it came in upon my mind that this was all his sorrow at my departure, and my conscience smote me hard and fast, because I, for my part, was overjoyed to get away out of that quiet countryside and go to a great busy house among rich and respected gentlefolk of my own name and blood. Davy, I thought, was ever seen such black ingratitude? Can you forget old favors and old friends and the mere whistle of a name? Fie, think shame. And I sat down on the shoulder the good man had just left, and opened the parcel to see the nature of my gifts. That which he had called cubical, I had never had much doubt of. Sure enough, it was a little Bible to carry in a plate nuke, plate neck. That which he had called round, I found to be a shilling piece, and the third, which was to help me so wonderfully both in health and sickness all the days of my life, was a little piece of coarse yellow paper written upon thus in red ink: to make lily of the valley water. Take the flowers of lily of the valley and distill them in sack, and drink a spoonful or 2 as there is occasion. It restores speech to those that have the damp palsy. It is good against the gout. It comforts the heart and strengthens the memory. And the flowers, put into a glass, close stopped and set into any hill of ants for a month. Then take it out, and you will find a liquor which comes from the flowers, which keep in a veil. It is good, ill or well, and whatever man or woman. And then in the minister's own hand was added, likewise for sprains, rub it in, and for the colic, a great spoonful in the hour. Oh, it's my time not over? Sorry.
Yes, you can stop now. That's fine. Well done. Sorry, I
Was
was
it,
trying to get to you,
was
but
it shorter than
you...
5 minutes? Sorry.
no, it was just about on time. Well done. Okay,
I
so
read and read and read and nobody listened. Only got to sleep. Okay.
okay, so your feed. Any questions before I give Hermina her feedback? Okay, let's have a look. Then, here we go. Hermina, the first word it's a name, but it's a very well-known name in Scotland. A very well-known clan in Scotland. Oh, I've lost my list. Hang on. Eek. Okay, Campbell.
Hamburg?
Campbell.
Humble.
K at the beginning, and then a silent P. Campbell.
Okay. It's a little bit difficult for me because could you write it down, please? It's easier
It's
for
there
me.
it's in the kidnapped thread. It's there.
Okay. Okay.
Hang on.
Let me
Here.
see. Moment. Okay. I'll see
Can you
it.
see it?
Campbell. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so silent P. Campbell.
Campbell.
That's better. Good. Then here, not like her. Here.
Here.
Come here.
Come here.
That's it. And then Blythe.
Blythe.
That's it. Then that'll is that will, not that I'll. That'll. It's a bit slangy, but it's short for that will. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. If anybody's ever watched the film Babe or read the book, that'll. Try it.
Dattel.
Very good. Then there's forget, not forgot. To forget.
Forget.
Try it.
Forget.
Perfect. Well done. Then we've got fie. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Fie. Fie on you. It's like a little interjection. Fie.
Fie.
That's it. Perfect. Then this one's a bit of a tongue twister. Dumb palsy. The dumb palsy. I presume it's some kind of you're struck dumb, you can't talk. But anyway, dumb palsy. Try it.
Dumb palsy.
That's it. And then vial, not veil. Vial, a vial, like a little test tube, a little glass container. Vial. Try it.
Vial.
That's it. And you get a smiley for acceptance.
Acceptance.
Very good. And this one I have got no idea of what a pladnuk is.
Okay.
Okay, Merriam-Webster knows. It's a pocket. Okay, so let me just reject all these things. So it's a pocket formed by the sewed up corner of a plaid. There you go. It's Scottish. I'd never heard of that before. See, I'll have read that book and I'll not have bothered looking up the word. I'll have just gone, I don't know that word, I don't care. So well done. So
Okay.
pladnuk, it is that. Who knew?
Plate nuke.
Yeah. I tend to say plaid, but I think you can say plaid as well. A plaid is kind of a type of material, usually like the tartan, yeah? Plaid, it's a checkered material. Okay, you read it in Polish. Okay.
Bravo, Eleanor.
Okay, so on that, let's look at the next reader is in my list. Constantine, are you ready? You ready to learn Scottish?
Yes, thank you. So it's my turn, yes?
It is your turn now, yes. Okay,
great.
so if you would like to start whenever you're feeling comfortable.
Okay, thank you. To be sure, I laughed over this, but it was rather tremulous laughter, and I was glad to get my bundle on my staff's end and set out over the ford and up the hill upon the farther side, till just I came on the green draw road running wide through the heather. I took my last look on kirk, ascending the trees about the manse and the big rowans in the kirkyard. There my father and my mother lay. Chapter 2. I come to my journey's end. In the forenoon on the second day, coming to the top of a hill, I saw all the country fall away before me down to the sea, and in the midst of this descent on a long ridge, the city of Edinburgh, smoking like a kiln. There was a flag upon the castle, and the ships moving or lying anchored in the surf, both of which, for as far away as they were, I could distinguish clearly, and both brought my country heart into my mouth. Presently after I came by a house where a shepherd lived, and got a rough direction for the neighborhood of Craymont, and so from one to another worked my way to the westward of the capital by Collington, till I came out upon the Glasgow road, and there, to my great pleasure and wonder, I beheld a regiment marching to the fifes, every foot in time, and an old red-faced general on a grey horse at the one end, and the other the company of grenadiers with their pops' hats. The pride of life seemed to mount into my brain at the sight of the red coats and the hearing of that merry music. A little farther on, and I was told I was in Cremont parish, and began to substitute in my injuries the name of the House of Shawns. It was a word that seemed to surprise those of whom I sought my way. At first I thought the plainness of my appearance in my country habit, and that all dusty from the road, consorted ill with the greatness of the place to which I was bound. But after 2 or maybe 3 had given me the same look and the same answer, I began to take it in my head there was something strange about the Shawns itself. The better to set this fear at rest, I changed the form of my injuries, and spying an honest fellow coming along a lane on the shaft of his cart, I asked him if he had ever heard tell of a house they called the House of Shawns. He stopped his cart and looked at me like the others. I said he, what for? It's a great house, I asked. Uh, Doubtless, say he, the house is a big, muckle house.
Very good. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so Gibran had asked a question earlier, which I didn't see. Polish? No, it's not about plaid. All Eleanor meant was she read the book in Polish, which is her mother tongue. Okay, so sometimes these books they're very famous, and they've been translated into lots of different languages. So you may have read it in your own language. but this is in English and a little bit of Scottish. Plaid is a type of tartan or a pattern. So anyway, well read, Constantine. Nicely done. Any questions before I give Constantine his feedback? It would be easier in your own language. I can't imagine reading this in German because, as you know, I learned German. I can't imagine reading it in German. No questions. Okay, thank you. So, Constantine, the first word is castle or castle, but it's a silent T. It's like the T isn't there. Castle. Try it.
Castle.
That's it. And then anchored.
Anchored.
Very good. Then rough. That O-U-G-H sound, it changes all the time, I know, but this one is rough.
Rough.
That's it. The opposite of smooth. And then fife. With your musket, fife and drum. Fife. It's a type of whistle. A type
Fife.
yeah, that's it. That's it. Then red-faced, silent E. Red-faced.
Red-faced.
Very good. And then inquiries, not injuries. Injuries is if you get injured, you're
was
hurt.
wrong, yes.
Yeah,
Inquiries.
inquiries. That's it. You make an inquiry, you've got questions, inquiries. And then whom, for whom the bell tolls.
Whom.
That's it. Whom is kind of dying out in English. It's sort of genitive, but it does still exist from time to time. And it's who with an M, whom. Then answer, silent W.
Answer.
That's it. And shores. This word comes up a lot. It's shore, shores, the name of the house, the name of the family. Okay? The
Shows. Shows.
That shore.
Shows.
Like or.
Shows.
Short, that's it.
Shows.
That's it. And then, well done for correcting yourself. Kiln, the kiln. If
Kiln.
you've ever done that's it. If you've ever done pottery, you harden the pottery in the fire in a kiln, like a big brick oven, a kiln. Okay. And then just a little bit of Scottish for you. The kirk is the church. So the kirkyard is the churchyard. Okay. You probably got it from the context, which was his mother and father were buried there. So kirkyard. Churchyard.
It's similar to German, yes, word, or it's not German.
It's not German,
At the
but yeah,
moment.
it's very similar to German. This is the way the Scottish say it. Yeah, Kirk. Yeah, he's a Kirk man. Oh, do you go to Kirk? Do you go to Kirk?
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Eleanor, it is your turn to show us your best Scottish.
Can you hear?
Not Polish.
Can you hear me well?
I can hear you loud and clear. Yes, as soon as you're ready, if you would like.
It's scary. Oh, okay. Said I. But the folk that are in it. Folk, cried he. I daft. There's nae folk there to call folk. What? Say I. Not Mr. Ebenezer? Oh, aye, said the man. There's a lad, to be sure, if it's him you are wanting. What's like be your business, money? I was led to think that I would get a situation, I said, looking as modest as I could. What? Cried the carter in so sharp a note that his very horse started, and then, well, money, he added, it's none of my affairs. But ye seem a decent spoken lad, and if ye'll take a word from me, ye'll keep clear of the shores. The next person I came across was a dapper little man in a beautiful white wig, whom I saw to be a barber on his rounds, and knowing well that barbers were great gossips, I asked him plainly what sort of a man was Mr. Balfour of the Shores. Hoot, 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 said the barber. No kind of a man, no kind of a man at all, and began to ask me very shrewdly what my business was. But I was more than a match for him at that, and he went on to his next customer no wiser than he came. I cannot well describe the blow this dealt to my illusions. The more indistinct the accusations were, the less I liked them, for they left a wider field to fancy. What kind of a great house was this, that all the parish should start and stare to be asked the way to it? What sort of a gentleman, that his ill fame should be thus current on the wayside? If an hour's walking would have brought me back to Essendon, I had left my adventure then and there, and returned to Mr. Campbell's. But when I had come so far away already, mere shame would not suffer me to desist till I had put the matter to the touch of proof. I was bound, out of mere self-respect, to carry it through, and lead as I liked the sound of what I had, and slow as I began to travel, I still kept asking my way and still kept advancing. It was drawing on to sundown when I met a stout, dark, sour-looking woman coming trudging down a hill. And she, when I had put my usual question, turned sharp about, accompanied me back to the summit she had just left, and pointed to a great bulk of building standing very bare upon a green in the bottom of the next valley. The country was pleasant round about, running in low hills, pleasantly watered and wooded, and the crops to my eyes wonderfully good. But the house itself appeared to be a kind of ruin. No road led up to it, no smoke arose from any of the chimneys, nor was there any semblance of a garden. My heart sank. "That!" I cried. The woman's face lit up with a malignant anger. "That is the house of Shaw's," she cried. "Blood built it. Blood stopped the building of it. Blood shall bring it down. See here!" she cried again. I spit upon the ground and cracked my thumb at it. Black be its fall. If ye see the lad, tell him what ye hear. Tell him this makes the 1219th time that Janet Clouston has called down the curse on him and his house, buyer and stable, man, guest and master, wife, miss or bairn. Black, black be their fall.
Ooh, okay.
Scared.
Well done. Okay, very nicely done. Okay, so yes, it can help if you read it in your mother tongue and then in English. But give it a go in a bit, Skibbon. You'll be surprised. Okay, so everybody was in the same boat when they first started with these sessions, and it's only with practice that you suddenly find you're getting a feel for it. Okay, so any questions before I give Eleanor her very, very short feedback? Everybody okay? Yeah, so Eleanor, nay, as in no. You can say
Nay.
no,
Okay.
but it's nay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I repeated this mistake. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Campbell's,
Campbell's.
silent
Okay.
P. And it's really important because Campbell's is also a very famous soup. If you know Andy Warhol, the painter, you'll have seen that soup, the Campbell's soup can picture. So you need to drop that P. It doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. Campbell.
Okay, Campbell. Yeah, that's it. That's your feedback. It's very short. Well done. Okay, and as I say, very nicely read. It's very very dark, and oh, she's cursing the house as Alexa said, a mystery place, this shore, isn't it? It certainly is. Obviously, people around and about do not think much of it. So, Gibran, are you feeling brave? Are you ready to
Yes,
read?
I'm feeling brave.
Excellent. Whenever you're feeling comfortable, if you'd like to start. And as I said, 5 minutes is the limit, but you can stop any time you want. Okay,
Okay.
take it away. Your turn.
Okay. Thanks for the time and place. And the woman whose voice had risen to a kind of eldritch sing-song turned with skip and was gone. I stood where she left me, with my hair on end. In those days folk still believed in witches and trembled at the curse. And this one, falling so bad, like a wayside omen. Arrest me ere I carried out my purpose, took the pit out of my legs. I sat me down and stared at the house of South. The more I looked, the center that countryside appeared, being all set with hawthorn bushes full of flowers. The fields dotted with sheep, a fine flight of rocks in the sky, and every sign of a kind soil and climate. And yet the barrack in the midst of it went sore against my fancy. Country folk went by from the fields as I sat there on the side of the ditch, but I lack the spirit to give them a good end. At last the sun went down, and then right up against the yellow sky, I saw a scroll of smoke go mounting, not much thicker as it seemed to me than the smoke of a candle, but still there it was, and meant a fire, and warmth, and cookery, and some living inhabitant that must have lit it, and discomforted my heart. So I set forward by a little fight track in the grass that led in my direction. It was verified indeed to be the only way to a place of habitation, yet I saw no other. Presently it brought me to stone uprights with an unroofed lodge beside them, and coats of arms upon the top. The main entrance it was plainly meant to be, but never finished, instead of gates of wrought iron. Iron. A pair of hurdles were tied across with a straw rope, and as there were no park walls, nor any sign of a venue, the track that I was following passed on the right hand of the pillars and went wandering on toward the house. The nearer I got to that, the drearier the drearier it appeared. It seemed like the one wing of a house that had never been finished. What should have been the inner and stood open on the upper floors and showed against the sky with steps and stairs of incomplete masonry. Many of the windows were unglazed, and bats flew in and out like doves out of dovecote. The night had begun, to fall as I got close. And in the three of the lower windows, which were very high up and narrow and well buried, the changing light of a little fire began to glimmer. Was this the place I had been coming to? Was it within these walls that I was to seek new friends and begin great fortunes? Why, my father's house on Essen Waterside, the fire and the bright lights would show a mile away, and the door opened to beggar's knock. I come
Very
for.
good. Well
Okay,
done.
thank you.
You can stop. You can breathe.
Okay.
You see. Excellent. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions before I give him his feedback? Everybody okay? No, that was really well done. It was good. It was really good. Well done. Okay, so let's have a look at the words first. So the first word is those.
Oh,
Not like
yeah.
this. Those.
Those.
Yeah. These are here and those are over there. Okay, then stared. A silent E. Stared.
There.
Very good. The shores. Or shores. Try it.
So,
Once more. Shores.
so,
Ooh, it's a tough one for you to practice. Shores. Okay. Then hawthorn. It's a type of plant in the UK. It's like a bush. The hawthorn comes out in a May blossom. Hawthorn. Try it.
hawthorn.
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 Not bad, not bad. Try and get the th sound softer, but that's fine. We'll work on it over time. Then rooks. They're a bird, a big black bird like a crow, a raven. Not rocks. Rooks.
Rooks.
That's it. Like books, rooks. Then climate. A really important word at the moment. Everybody's talking about climate change. Climate. Try it.
Climate.
That's it. Then to lack. Past tense, lacked. So it's a kt sound. Lacked.
Lacked.
Very good. Well done. Then thicker.
Thinker.
Not think. There's no N there.
Thinker.
Thicker.
Thinker.
Thick. Try saying thick.
Thinker.
No. Try just saying thick.
Think.
No, that's think. This is think. Yeah. Thick. No N. Thick. Right.
Very difficult. Think. Thick.
Thick. Yeah. If you think of it, just don't look at the word. Just listen to my voice. Thicker.
Thinker.
Okay, practice. That's your word.
Okay.
Thicker.
Thicker.
Okay, then.
Thicker.
That's better. Yeah, that's it. Good. Thicker. If you're making a sauce, you want it to be a little bit thicker.
Sauce.
Keep stirring it. Yeah. Okay, the next one is from to mean, but it's the past tense. Meant. Meant. That's it. Then heart, not like hurt. A good heart is hard to find. Heart.
Heart.
That's it. Then faint, not like fine, it's an A sound. Faint. Try it.
Faint.
Very good. Then lodge.
Lounge.
No N. Lodge.
Lodge.
That's it. Then entrance, not like entrance. To entrance somebody is like to put a spell on them. He was entranced by her voice. Entrance is the way in, so it's much flatter. Entrance. Try it.
Entrance.
Perfect. Then iron, silent R. Iron.
Iron.
Perfect. Then hurdles, like her and then dools. Hurdles.
Hurdles.
Yeah, if you've got hurdles, it's like things you have to, obstacles you have to overcome in life are hurdles. It's also a type of race where you jump over these little hurdles. So anything that blocks your way could be seen as a hurdle. There are a lot of hurdles to learning English. One of them is pronunciation. Hurdles. Then
Elder.
avenue, not like, that's it, perfect. Then the next one is avenue, not like a venue. A venue is somewhere you go for an event. Avenue is like a type of street or road or path, an avenue. Try it.
Avenue.
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 That's better, good. Then dreary, drearier.
Drearier.
Perfect, well done. Then masonry.
Masonry.
Yeah, masonry is any kind of brickwork, masonry. Then unglazed.
Unglazed.
Perfect. There's no glass in it, basically. It's an unglazed window. A window with no glass, pretty useless. Then barred.
Barred.
Yeah, barred because there are bars in front of it, sort of strips of metal that stop people breaking in, barred. Okay, then you get two smileys. The first one, risen.
Reason.
Yeah, from to rise. I have risen. And then air, which means it's like a whenever, before, ere something happens, before it happens. It's just, again, a little bit of old-fashioned English. Air. Try it.
Air.
Yeah, ere we finish. Well done. Well done, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the session. Okay, and remember, next time, come in 2 hours before the session starts just to say hello, and you'd like to read. I can put you onto the reading list. We've run over a little bit. I do try to finish on time, but sometimes we just run over. Okay. As usual. Exactly, Eleanor. All right. Thank you so much for coming and reading. Well done. The recording will go up onto YouTube as soon, not YouTube, onto Facebook as soon as I can, and I'll put here where we're up to. So I think we're up to I came forward cautiously. Okay, so if you forget where we got up to, you will find it here. It's page, page in my book 21, and in the actual book page 16. Okay, and I will pin that here. Okay, so next week we'll remember where we got up to. Thanks so much for coming. You're welcome, Alexa. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paulette. It's lovely, nice to be back.
It
Yeah,
was
bye,
great.
Helena.
It was great as always. Thank you.
Excellent. Good. See you next time. Bye.
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 See you.
Bye, everyone.